And I got these plans. I'ma be goddamn, I don't see these through, you don't understand.
All right. Hello. Welcome to the Sunday Night Nut Pod.
Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Sunday Night.
I forgot it. I was like, damn it.
What was our intro?
Yeah. But anyways,
It's been 2 weeks off.
yeah, it's been a nice little break for us, to be honest. But we're happy to be back. My name is Baxkpaxkzaxk with the Backpack Raps. This is my sister Maggie. We are struggling entertainment endeavor humans, and we got some exciting news.
That was great.
Yeah,
The intro.
it was.
Yeah. Yeah, so we just got back from a 2-week trip in Korea with our family.
Yeah.
And we also went to Japan.
We went to Shibuya. If you guys didn't
I
notice.
convinced Zach to wear our matching shirts
Yeah.
today.
When we came back from the Dominic Fike concert, Maggie was like, "Dude, let's both wear our shirts."
And
I was like,
and he left me, just me.
Yeah, I was like, let's fucking not. But anyways,
But here we are now.
we're doing it. She talked me into it this time. But this is a vibe, because Shibuya was lit as fuck. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
I suppose we should start. Give us 3 highlights of the whole trip.
Okay, people have been asking me this at work all day, the other day. So probably one is the DMZ, because that was just a crazy experience, and we'll talk about that because there's so much to say. But
Yeah.
and then second, just Busan in general was insane. I can't believe a place like that exists. It was just so huge, and they just had everything. Remember there was that one point where someone was like, "Hey, that building looks like the Sydney Opera House," and I was like, "Dude, they're literally just flexing on us now."
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, and yeah, there's the Opera House too." They're like, "Oh, we have skyscrapers, we have beach, we have mountains, literally everything in one place."
Yeah. Busan is, oh my god, out of this world.
Yeah, crazy. The third one, just food, bro.
Right? God.
Every meal.
The food was just outstanding.
And cheap. It was crazy.
It's ridiculous, dude.
We would eat a full Korean barbecue meal that here would be probably $35 a person. It was $10 a person.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, honestly, the food, I'm having food withdrawals this week.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it heavy. Because we were eating so good for so cheap.
Yeah.
It really does suck. It sucks to come back, in a lot of ways.
That was the saddest part. Even right when we landed here, it was just man.
No more.
What are we going to eat?
Yeah. And even when we were on the plane and they fed us the Korean meal with kimchi and stuff, I was like, this is it.
This is my last kimchi.
Yeah. But the kimchi, bro, there's no kimchi half as good here than the worst kimchi we ate in Korea.
Yeah.
It's just so flavorful.
Wait, what was your 3 highlights?
My 3 highlights were, so probably Shibuya, the Nintendo
Oh, yeah.
store was so sick for me. I mean, it exceeded expectations. I was just so hyped to be in there and just amongst my people, my Nintendo gang.
Yeah, that's gotta be such a cool thing.
Yeah, it was
for
tight.
you.
Yeah, God, that was a lifelong dream. So that was just.
Yeah, you walked right in and there was that giant Link.
Yeah.
Surrounded by all this merch that's only there, and it's authentic Nintendo in Japan.
Yeah, and
it was so
dude,
crazy.
honestly, it's really tight that Tears of the Kingdom just came out, the new Zelda.
Yeah.
And so they had so much Tears of the Kingdom stuff, and I was I was nerding out, bro. I was like, no way. So
that was really cool.
Yeah, the Nintendo store, Busan was it. Busan was it.
Yeah.
But amongst Busan, I would have to say the Buddhist temple was super, outstanding experience, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it was so cool.
Should we, like, try to go in order through the trip?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to do.
There's so many things that we could, like, really get into.
Yeah, right? Because, like, even Japan, like, and I think both of us agreed that, like, the biggest thing with the spending time in Japan was, like, you spend time there and you just realize you need more time there, you know? Because it's huge. It's so big. Like, even Tokyo is just ginormous. We never left Tokyo.
Yeah.
And it was just so sick. Like, and it's so clean out there, bruh. And people are so respectful. Yeah, like, everybody is really respectful. And, like, minding their own business.
Yeah.
In the best of ways.
No one was homeless.
Not one homeless person.
Yeah, in a huge city.
Giant.
Like, that's insane.
Like one of the biggest cities in Japan.
Yeah.
There's not one homeless person. There's like 40 million people that live here. How?
Yeah.
You might have to fact check me on that.
It was so funny because it felt like really like I was in a show. I don't know if it was like anime, but whatever it was, it felt like I had felt it like before, but it was like it's real. Like the way everyone was rushing to and from work with their briefcases was just so like it felt like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Because they were all like stereotypical, like, and then everyone would be like in line. Everyone was like by themselves, just on their phone. Like everyone was just chilling.
Yeah.
It was so weird. Like I don't know why, but like you could tell right when you looked at it that you were just like, that's just like a sight you don't see.
Yeah.
And it made me wonder, what are people doing when they're like waiting in line here? Are they talking to someone or like, why doesn't it look like that?
I think it is that they're talking. And I feel like it is such a like, I don't know. It is just obnoxious to be on the phone in public. And I'll die on that hill. Like, and I know you got to take your calls.
You mean like this or like
no,
this?
like this, or like the Bluetooth. You know, it's like you're an asshole. They could be a nice person, you know, but it's just like, get off the phone, bro. Like, stop talking to random people. You know,
random people.
Yeah, it's like their grandma, and you're like, fuck you.
No, people come into work on the phone all the time, and like we hate it because they literally are like, 1 second, can I get this? And it's like, dude, and now I have a few more questions for you because I'm a human and we're interacting.
Exactly.
And you could just like hang up real quick and speak to me and then go back to your call. Like, it's actually crazy.
Yeah.
The disrespect that like everyone has.
Yeah, here. People just have less and less regard for like each other.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like in Japan, they're like, this is another person. But yeah, Japan was out of this world, man. I kept saying it when we were there. I'm like, dude, I want to live here. I want to live in Japan so bad because it's just such a vibe.
Everything's cheap.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense why it's so cheap. Or like the rent.
Yeah.
Like, why? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just...
But it was, and like, there's like the price has just made everything so much better because like we went to that sushi restaurant and I was like, and you like tap on the screen and like order your rolls and I was like, I was ordering a roll for like $2.
Yeah.
Like good ass sushi.
That's the thing.
That's why I ordered like 6 rolls because I was like, this is crazy. I know I'm not even like racking up a bill right now. Like I'm almost to $10 and I have 4 rolls.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
I know, it's so tight with the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
So sick. Like, yeah. But Busan was really cool. Dude, one thing that I should say is like we lucked out with the tour guide. Cause like
in Busan?
Yeah. Like this guy picked us up from the train station and he's like, at first he's like skeptical to like pick us up because there's like 7 of us, and he's like, "Oh, that's a lot of people."
With huge luggage.
Yeah, we had like all of our bags and stuff, and then he's like, "And we're American, you know, so it's kind of like, yeah." And like we didn't have Gyeongsagi in Busan. Yeah. Our aunt basically.
Our great cousin.
Mm-hmm. Our great cousin.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know. It's my mom's cousin.
Yeah.
And she grew up in Seoul.
Yeah.
So like, and she moved to the States when she was like 33. So she really knows Seoul very well. And without her in Seoul, we would have been, it would have been a completely different trip. You know? So
for sure.
Shout out to Kyongsegi.
No, she was amazing.
Yeah, we love Kyongsegi.
Every time we'd go to a restaurant, she'd walk up to the host and like say something in Korean, and then they'd make us a table, and then we'd sit down, and then she'd be like, "What do you guys want?" And she'd like order for all of us. It was just like she just made everything so easy. Yeah. And she would go into the restaurant and find out what they have, and then come out and be like, "Do you guys want pierogi?"
Yeah. We're like, yes, we do.
It was just sick, and she knew where everything was, obviously.
But like with Busan, like when that dude picked us up. Yeah. And then we start talking and stuff, and then this guy starts telling us, "Oh yeah, I have a yacht." And then he like showed us pictures of like BTS like on his yacht and stuff. And we're like, "What, dude? That's crazy." Yeah, he's probably pretty rich. Oh, he's super rich, and that's why he told us the area he lives in, you know. And then it came up in another conversation with someone. My taxi driver when we went to go watch the drone show, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like only super rich people live there." And I was like, "Oh, wow, yeah." But so he hooked us up with the tour for the low ski, and he took us to all of these sick places like the fish market, this Buddhist temple, Gwangjang Village, and the memorial. Yeah. And that was really cool too, because they have like a memorial in Busan for all of the countries that like stood beside them during the Korean War and helped them out. Yeah. And they have a memorial for all of the soldiers that died, American soldiers, French soldiers, soldiers from the UK. Like, it's insane. It was so just... And it was like beautiful. Yeah. Like they had those little canals of water going in between, and then there was like bright orange fish in them. Like it was so pretty. Yeah. It was just amazing. But the one that does stick out to me was the Buddhist temple. Yeah. Because it was just so old and like, bro, when we went there, Mom said that doesn't always happen, but there were monks like humming and like doing their shit, bro. Like doing the... Oh, they're not always doing that? They're not always doing that. We went at the perfect time. And so that when Mom said that, I was like, all right, I'm going in there. And I just had this like overwhelming urge to go in there. And Grandma went in first, and I was like, yeah, we're doing this. And I took my shoes off, went down, knelt down, and just started bowing my head, bro. And I felt crazy. Like, I felt insane. I felt like I was literally witnessing God. Like, I was experiencing God. It was so fucking amazing. It was really trippy. Like, right? It was just like... And when we went into that... little like underground area, I didn't even know what that was. The second I like stepped foot down there, I was like, I remember we made eye contact because you were down there, and like right when I went down, I was like, and you were like it was so weird. It was like we didn't even have to talk about it, but it was like there's some like weird feeling in here. Yeah, it was like heavy. Yeah, like you could just feel the spirituality in there, bro. And then all of a sudden, I started bowing to that. Like statue. Yeah. And I was like, why am I bowing to this statue for real? Like, for real. It was so weird. It was just like naturally like coming to us. Mm-hmm. And even when we had to go like make a wish and like put water on that guy. Yeah. And like even when I was doing that, I was like, whoa. And everyone else was going, I'm like, how will I know what to do? But like when I went there, like I knew what to do. Yeah. It was crazy. So that was like... probably the most spiritual experience I've ever had. Yeah. Like, dude, that... religiously. Yeah. You know, something that is comparable to that. When I was in Ecuador, we went to one of the oldest churches ever. Mm-hmm. One of the oldest Christian churches ever. And I had that vibe, bro. Really? You could just feel God in there. Yeah. And I remember there was girls... in our group that just started bawling, and they were not sad. They were just like, this is crazy, bro. Like, yeah, like people were just crying because it's like you can feel the energy. Yeah. It's insane. But yeah, so Busan was 10 out of 10. Beautiful, bro. Also, I loved going to the top of that giant skyscraper. It's the second tallest building in all of Korea. The first tallest is in Seoul, and we didn't go to the top of that. But the tallest building in Busan is the second tallest in Korea, and you can go to the top of that. And we went to the top of that, and it was just
100 floors.
yeah, like it's so scary up there. Even though you know you're in a secure like
literally a building.
yeah, like you're just like, oh my god, why am I this high off the ground? And I was really imagining people building that, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you guys
That
got
is so crazy.
nuts of steel, bro. Like they were just up there like handing beams around and stuff. Like, dude, forget about
high.
it. Yeah. And there's this one part in there where you can walk. There's like a empty
Clear.
yeah, it's like a clear floor, and you can see right down to the ground, and it's just an insane feeling.
Yeah.
But my third highlight, yeah, I really went in depth with that one.
Well, we're like going in order, so
Yeah, and that's what else I was thinking is like, it was definitely a dinner. It was a dinner. It was some meal that we ate.
What was it?
I don't know. Like they're kind of blending, but like they were all so good. No, you know what might be a highlight for me? Honestly, McDonald's. McDonald's in Seoul is so fire.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They have way different menu. Like they had
the bulgogi burger.
yeah, like what the heck?
Crazy.
Bulgogi with eggs.
Yeah.
Like,
And then like the McFlurries. They had chocolate Oreo and strawberry Oreo McFlurry.
insane.
It was so good.
So fire. The strawberry McFlurry was so fire. And strawberry cones.
Oh yeah.
They got the strawberry soft serve, yo. And that shit was hitting. That shit was hitting for real.
Yeah. That was hype.
But yeah, you guys are probably like, oh, you fucking shallow American goes to Korea and like the highlight is McDonald's.
Yeah.
But honestly, bro, once I went in there, I was like, oh, this isn't McDonald's like how we know it.
Yeah.
Like this is completely different. They give you a mug when you order a coffee. We got a coffee at like 9 o'clock at night.
Decaf.
It was decaf. But we were like, yo, I just want to get the mug. Like,
McDonald's mug.
yeah, like what?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was definitely a highlight for me, for sure. But,
Yeah.
you know, it was also really cool to just hang out with our family that we don't get to see a lot, like Dylan and Jared and Jordan. I love Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan's hilarious.
Our cousin Jordan is like a comedian, bro. She's so funny.
Yeah, she's so funny. We were all just like, we had some good jokes going
For real,
the whole time.
Yeah.
Which is just lit. One of my favorite feelings is like at the end of a trip when you and a whole group have like a ton of like inside jokes.
Yeah.
And it's just like such a feeling after a trip when you're all like, you've been through like so much cool stuff together and you're just like, man, like, and this. It's just like the best feeling. Like I always love before I go on a trip because I know we're going to leave that way. And it's just like the best.
Yeah. I think an honorable mention was all of the temples in Seoul. That was super cool. No. I do have to mention this because I had a really, really fun time learning about Yin Sun Shin, that guy.
Oh yeah,
the naval captain.
Yeah.
And like he lived a long time ago. He lived in like 532 AD, like so long ago. But like, dude, they had this like movie thing where they put you in this little theater room and like you seatbelt in to the chair, and then the chair like moves around and stuff, and you're like watching what it looked like from like the dude's perspective, you know, like the ship's going through
the turtle battleship.
Yeah, the turtle battleship. And
Was
like,
he the one that created the turtle?
I don't know if it was his idea necessarily. I'm not sure about that. He might have been, but
He was the captain.
Yeah, he was like 23-0 in battles against Japan. It was like a 7-year war, and he literally just destroyed 23 times. Like, that's insane. And his last words, it was such an epic death. The way that he died, it's like a anime, like a book or something. Because like he died, and he's like, his last words were like, "Don't let anybody know that I'm about to die." Like, he told the dude, he was like, bro, if people think that I'm dead, they'll stop going as hard. Do not let anybody know until after the battle. Yeah, his whole crew, because he knew, he was like, that was the last thing that he was worried about, you know? He was like, oh my God, these people are going to give up now. Like, they can't. Like, even though I'm about to die.
That really is some anime shit.
Right? Like, he was like, no, don't let them know. It's
that was really
insane,
cool.
bro. Yeah, and that guy, he had a crazy life. Like, the other fact that stuck with me that was really cool was he started training for martial arts and like to be in the army when he was 21, I think. Mm-hmm. And he didn't even try out till he was 28. And then he fell off his horse and failed. And so then he trained for 4 more years, and then he tried out again when he was 32. So he had already been working to be a warrior for 10 years before he even was able to join the army.
That is pretty crazy. Right?
Like, this dude was mad driven. Like, he was like, no, I'm not giving up on shit, bro. Like, he just had that will.
Damn, they should make an anime about him.
Dude, they should. I think they don't because they're fighting Japan.
Yeah.
and Japanese, they're like, yo, he kicked the shit out of us.
They took those L's.
Yeah.
23 times.
For real. They're like, no, we didn't forget about bro. Yeah. We're not giving him any honor, though. But yeah, that was a really cool thing, dude. Because, dude, it's just in the middle of Seoul. Like, in the middle of Seoul. And you just go underneath, underground.
Everything is just there's just so much everywhere, you can't even, like, wrap your head around it.
For real.
Like, there was that whole museum, like, there's just, like, a little entrance. You'd barely see it.
Yeah.
You go under, and there's a huge museum.
People working.
There's literally a turtle ship in the museum.
For real, and you can
like,
walk in there.
Yeah. So, like, there's a bunch of people working, like, shops, everything. It's crazy. And then they also have whole malls underground, like, under the streets that are already, like, packed with stuff. Like, you just can't wrap your head around it, because everywhere you go, you're like, oh my God, this is huge.
So big. Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Like, dude, same thing with the subways in Korea, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like, dude, we went down like 6 floors.
Dude, it was crazy.
Like, you go down and you're like, you keep going down. You're like, what the hell?
There was like 6 escalators.
All the way to the bottom train. And then, like, on every level, there's obviously trains, you know? So it's like trains going this way, that way, all the way, like, 60, 70 feet into the ground.
Yeah, it's crazy. But, just, like, in general on the trip, I just feel like we have always wanted to go to Korea so bad because we're Korean. We've always eaten Korean food, heard Grandma talk about Korea, heard our mom talk about Korea, and it was just, like, a dream where we always were like, we have to go there. And then, like, to get there, and it's literally the coolest place I've ever seen in my life, and it felt so, like, comfortable and, like, weirdly, like, homey.
Yeah, it did. It
like,
really did.
I felt like I belonged. Like, I didn't feel like a tourist as much, even though I was, like, amazed by everything. I felt, like, safe.
Yeah. That's why, dude, Jared's, our cousin Jared posted on Instagram, and his caption was Roots.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that is a really good caption, because that's how it felt, honestly. It was like just learning about our people. And yeah, it was very cool. And so now let's get into the DMZ.
Yeah, speaking of our roots.
Yeah, because as you guys know, I mentioned it on a podcast a few weeks back, but our grandma was actually born in North Korea. And she was born 10 years before the war officially, like, started, I think. Or, like, before America joined, basically. And our grandma, she was born right on, like, the closest town to South Korea in North Korea. You know, it's called Kaesong.
It's like on the border, basically.
Yeah, like,
it is. It's in the DMZ.
Literally, we went to this place in the DMZ where it's like right on the border, and you can actually see North Korea, and you can see Kaesong. And it was just so crazy because like Grandma always told us those stories of how she had to leave her house, and like I feel like when we were kids, we were just like, what? Like that's crazy. I guess that's just what Koreans went through. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't all Koreans. Like it was Grandma, bro. She's like on the border. She was born right there.
Like she was in the war zone. And
For
it's
real.
not like it's like a huge city, because Seoul is like a huge city. Kaesong is like a little tiny village.
Yeah.
Like you can look over and see the whole village.
Yeah, it's like a little
And it's like
neighborhood damn near.
And that's where like the war started. It's like absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
That she was like literally running from planes that were bombing their village.
Yeah.
Like
insane.
when she was like 9, I think.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was really thinking about when we were, you know, at the DMZ looking at Kaesong, is like I really remembered Grandma saying like, oh yeah, and then we had to leave our house and run to the forest, mm-hmm. like that was up in the mountain. Mm-hmm. And I was like, there's the mountain. Like,
yeah.
I was like, bro, that is where she ran. She ran up there. And I've always pictured it my whole life, you know? Like,
yeah.
I always think about that, you know, Mom always hung that thing on our refrigerator.
Yeah.
That was like, I made it in second grade. The second grade teacher's like, who's your hero?
Yeah.
And I said, my hero is my grandma, because she was born.
brave during the Korean War.
Yeah. And like, it's like a picture of her like getting bombed and like
yeah.
running up the hill. Because she told us that story when we were young. And I don't know, man. I just, throughout my life, bro, I've always just looked to Grandma for strength, you know? Because I'm like, dude, whatever the fuck I'm going through, it is not as hard as Grandma. Like, Grandma
Yeah.
got bombed when she was 9, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't picture it, bro. It's different strokes.
And a lot of people got, after the war, a lot of people were stuck, like, either in North Korea, well, obviously they weren't stuck in South Korea, but, like,
Right.
they ended up in South Korea, and some people were in North Korea, and it was, like, some families that just, like, ran the opposite way, like, can't be together anymore.
Yeah, and that sucks. That was the saddest part about the DMZ. But
yeah, and then the village. So the DMZ is like, there's like the border, and then there's like 2 kilometers on each side, and like that's the DMZ.
Right.
And Kaesong is inside
yeah,
the 2 kilometers, so it's like literally in the DMZ.
it's like neutral zone
yeah.
type shit. But like,
I
you
can't
wouldn't want to
believe
go
they
there.
let us go there,
That's what's crazy.
like tourists.
And honestly, I did have like there was one time where I was looking through those binoculars, and I was like, yeah, you can see really well. And I was like, you can see really well. Like, I was like, wait a minute, is there like a...
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, yeah, you kind of get the feeling.
I don't think they would let us go there if it was in America.
Right?
It's not safe.
For real.
Because we watched a video while we were in there, and it was like, and it was like the DMZ, and then they were like telling like the history of like the DMZ and the war, and then they were like, so is there peace? And they were like, not really, because North Korea continues to antagonize us. And then it was like, and then 2 years ago they bombed this building, so this is more than antagonizing us, like it's a direct threat. And then they were like, they have bombs set up from every direction to land in Seoul, and it was like the arrows going pew pew pew, and then
Like, the animation like literally blows up in Seoul, and you're like, oh my god.
and then the music was like, doo-doo-doo. It was like, we hope to like reform, but for now the DMZ will live forever. And it was like, we were all sitting there like,
And we're like, what?
and then the video ended and the lights come on, and we're all like, we're in the DMZ.
And then they're like, get on the bus. And we're like, okay. We're all like, yeah, get me the fuck out of here.
We're like, what's going on?
For real. Dude, it's also cool. A little highlight from the DMZ. I don't know how much you like this, partially because I think your blood sugar was going low. But
The tunnel?
yeah, the
No,
tunnel.
I didn't like that, and my blood sugar wasn't even going low. I have a deep fear of tunnels
Being underground, yeah, I get it.
and caves. Like,
I don't love it.
Think about all the times we've been in Hawaii when you guys were looking at those volcano tunnels. I was like, let's go. Like, I was getting like really like antsy to go, and you guys were like, we should just walk in here, and I was like, no, like let's not, because I just hate it.
Yeah.
So I hated that, but I didn't want to miss out.
I feel that. Yes, Aunt Barbara didn't like it at all either. She was not vibing.
No, that was awful.
I get it. I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty interesting because like, dude, but for real, they said that the cave is literally there because North Koreans tried to dig into underneath the border, like to get to South Korea after the war. And then like they also said that like I think there were 6 tunnels that they found, like 6 other tunnels where they were also trying to like get back into South Korea so that they could like infiltrate and make an attack and stuff. And it's like, bro, that is so sketchy.
And then they were like, there's hundreds of tunnels that we haven't found yet. And I was like, yeah, what the
The video
fuck?
was like way too optimistic because it's like it's like saying all these crazy things, but then it's like they could kill us at any moment.
And it was like, and they try to. Often.
Pretty often, yeah. Like they don't stop. And all we want is peace. It's crazy. It is crazy. But yeah, all in all, it was just such an amazing experience. I felt so refreshed to just be, like you said, dude, near our roots. And like, man, because I have been practicing my Korean a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was a humbling experience because, like, you can practice online all you want, but, like, someone's talking to you in Korean, you don't know what they're saying. Like, I picked up a couple words, and I'll be like, sometimes I was like, Kyungski, are they talking about this? Like, because I heard him say certain words, and she's like, yeah. And it was cool, too, to, like, impress Kyungsi when I could read it and stuff. And I'm like, oh, that says Dongmudi, right? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was cool. But next time I go, I want to be fluent. That would be so cool.
I feel like you're going to get fluent if you're there for an extended period of time.
A long time,
Because even, like, I was starting to recognize, like, certain words and stuff after, like, just, like, a couple weeks.
Yeah. I know, right?
Like, I was like, I kind of know what Kyungsi just said to our waiter.
Yeah.
Somehow. Like, I just understand it somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It was just honestly amazing, bro.
Yeah, like, and I remember, too, when we just started, like, we were about to land in Korea, I didn't even know what it looked like what the landscape was like or anything, but, like, I remember you were like, look out the window. And I looked out and I was like, what? It was just like crazy mountains.
Yeah.
And the hills are so like Asian, like they look like Asian paintings. Like they really do look like that. They're just like mounds.
Yeah.
Like it's so sick.
It's such a hilly, especially Seoul. Like the whole city is like built inside of mountains almost,
Yeah. It's like pretty mountain views, pretty buildings, and then the old palaces are like right in the city. Like it's just so, I just can't believe it exists. I feel like I don't want to tell people about it because it's so like such a special place.
Yeah, it really
it's
is
like,
just
whoa,
amazing.
Why aren't people traveling here all the time?
Yeah.
Like it's the bee's knees, man.
For real. But yeah, Busan was like equally as impressive to me in just how scenic it was. Like the ocean is so beautiful and the buildings are insane out there.
Yeah, the bridges go crazy.
For real, bro.
The bridges are like every which way, double decker.
Yeah, dude, there's a double decker one in Busan where it's like this traffic is going this way and this traffic is going this way, like underneath. I'm like, dude, that's crazy, man.
It is wild.
So yeah, all in all, 10 out of 10. It was a great trip with great people.
Yeah.
So
literally, like, couldn't have imagined anything better.
Yeah.
Because my expectations were high.
Same.
And it literally exceeded it like exponentially.
I know. And that was the thing is where, you know, I'm 25 right now. And that was the first time I ever went to Korea. And I really was just thinking like, dude, this shouldn't have taken that long. And like, there's no way that I'm not going to go back more frequently now. Yeah. Because it's just so fun. Like, it just makes me so happy to be there.
For real, yeah.
So, yeah, that was a great experience. But go ahead.
The thing is, like, I feel like we had to wait until, like the first trip, I feel like had to be, like, with people that could introduce us to it.
Yeah. It was
like, this is how things work, this is how blah, blah. Like, it was so helpful, and now that we, like, were with everyone, and with Gyeonggi especially, like, I feel like I could go back there and, like, know where to stay, know how to get around town, and, like, know, like, what the restaurants are like, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it'll be, now you can go more frequently, because, like, we could figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, dude, and we stayed in the perfect place. I mean, you know, it's a giant city. Like, way bigger than any place. It's, like, comparable to LA, I feel like. But we stayed in this hotel, and we walked to 3 different, like, old temples. Just walked there. And it's not a far walk. Like, it's literally down the block. It's like 4 blocks away. Both of them. So insane.
We walked to 4, yeah.
Oh, really?
The night one, the one at the top of the hill, the one with the changing of the guards, and then the one by the train station.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot we walked to 2 because we walked to the wrong one.
Oh, yeah, that's a 5th one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's all right there, you know? Like, you
good? Well, I'm really sore.
Oh, I get it.
I had to come back gym session, so my body was like, but...
Yeah.
But it was so fun.
Sore tolerance is down.
Yeah. But it was so fun back at the gym. Side note.
Hell yeah. That's tight. But yeah, we were just talking about some crazy shit because I didn't know...
Wait, let me tell the story first.
Yeah.
Okay, so yesterday I was at work, and then a customer was asking about my peach tattoo. And so then I was telling them, oh yeah, like, call me by your name. And then I was like, but, like, we can't talk about it anymore because Army Hammer's a cannibal. And then she was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, like, I was just, like, talking shit about Army Hammer, basically. Then she goes, all right, well, thanks. And then she's like, yeah, so, like, I know Army, and, like, I taught his kids. And, like, he's actually, like, pretty cool.
No way.
And I was like... Oh my god. I was like, you just can't talk to anyone in LA.
Yeah,
like, you don't know who they are. Yeah. Or what they know. Like, this could be one of the most powerful people. And, like, I'm just like, yeah, Army's cannibal. But then I was like, I went from, like, talking shit so fast to being like, can I meet him?
Yeah, you're like, well, actually, I'm a huge fan of his on-screen work.
Free Army Hammer.
Still, it's backwards. I don't even believe any of that stuff. I'm a cannibal too. No.
He can eat my toe for a picture.
For real, dude. Because honestly, I had never heard of this before. Like, and I watched Call Me by Your Name for the first time, which is sad because it's one of Maggie's favorite movies. But I finally just had a chance to on the plane to Japan, and it blew my fucking mind. It was a really good movie. I enjoyed the watch a lot. I understand why you like it.
That's lit.
Yeah. Maggie's a big coming of age film. So, but yeah, it was definitely an interesting watch that I completely understand, like, the liking of it, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's nice.
Yeah, that was cool.
I feel like it could have gone either way because it's weird.
It is weird, and like, why did he fuck the peach?
Oh, just because
he's a little horn dog.
See, that's just part of, like, the coming of age thing.
Yeah, it's like, dude,
like, he was just peach. Like, and also I think it was in there because it's trying to say, like, his relationship with Oliver was having him so, like, awoken, that he was
sexually.
that he was just kind of like feeling inspired by the beach. I think. I don't know. He's just a horny kid, you know? Like, when he goes into his room and like puts his swimsuit on his head, it's just like, what? That was a weird scene. Why was that there? But it's just like, he's just like a weirdo. He's like a horny kid.
Yeah, and he's like obsessed with bro.
Yeah, he was obsessed. In the book, it was really interesting because, and they did it in the movie, but they didn't talk about it. Is he has like this theory that like whatever like swimsuit short color that like Oliver was wearing like kind of affected his mood. Like he was like, oh, if he's wearing yellow, then like he's gonna be really happy. If he's wearing red, like he won't talk to me, because he was just so obsessed with him that he was like reading into every little thing. But they showed like his swimsuits like laying around and stuff, all the colors that like were in the book. So I know they kind of put it in there.
Yeah, they like tried to pay tribute.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where like he never said it out loud in the book, so you can't really like make it out loud now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
that's pretty interesting. I kind of want to rewatch it.
Yeah, and in the book you're really just like, oh, he's obsessed.
Really?
Yeah.
See, because like I don't know how much that vibe gets off. It does kind of feel like they both know that it's like a forbidden thing, but they're both like, it's fun to indulge in this forbidden love, you know?
And then they kind of finally just like went all in.
Yeah.
They were like, all right, let's just do it, and we'll deal with the consequences after. And then he was left with a broken heart.
Yeah.
Which was so sad. Like, I feel like the way that they depict him being brokenhearted is so good. Like, every time I watch the scene of them saying goodbye to each other at the train station, I'm like, don't leave. Like, I feel like that feeling where you're like, wait, just like, we're out of time. Like, fuck. Like,
yeah, like, can't we do something?
Yeah, and then he, like, gets in and they shut the door, like, right away. And it's just so, like, you feel for Elliot. You're just like, oh.
Yeah.
He's going to be going through it. And then his mom picks him up and he's just, like, crying in the car. You're just like you feel it with him.
Yeah, that was a good scene. The coming back. But I do think that, like, it wasn't... I was picturing it, like, from what you had told me, to be, like, less consensual. You know what I mean? Because I think it's just interesting, because it's, like, they start off, right, and, like, Timothy Chalamet is, like, fucking the girl and, like, vibing with her. Like, and then you're like, okay, this dude's straight. And same thing with the other dude. He's like dancing with the girls and stuff, and like the girls are vibing with him, and it's like, oh yeah, these are two straight dudes. But then for some reason, like when they kiss, it's like, oh yeah, like that was gonna happen, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just an interesting.
But you can tell that he likes him when. Yeah, it's so good. I could literally talk about this forever. But like, you can tell he likes him when he's dancing with the girl. And Elio's like smoking and he's just like staring at him, and then he like leans forward and it's like, you can tell that he's just kind of like, what am I feeling?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, why do I want to just like, he's like, I love watching him dance. I hate seeing him with that girl. Like, there's just like so much going on, and he's like trying to figure out internally. So I feel like you can kind of tell. But the first time I saw it, I was like, I kept thinking like one of them actually hated the other one. I'm like, oh no, he likes Elio, and Elio is just like annoyed with him. And then you're like, no, he's obsessed with Oliver, and Oliver doesn't fuck with him.
Yeah.
And so then that's why when they finally get together, it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah. And then I thought it was important too that they put in that conversation where he's like, I wish we could have done this earlier, you know? And then he's like, I tried, bro. Like, I remember when I like put my arm around you, and he's like,
and he was like.
Yeah, and he's like, oh my God, I should have let you, like, I regret that so much, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but then after that, I was just like, all right, maybe it's just me. And that's very relatable too, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's all just so real, I feel like. Like, the film, it's so, like, the pacing is so realistic, and, like, the way that they, like, reacted to each other is just so, like, how humans are. Like, and even like the scene when he like gets a nosebleed at dinner and then he like goes with him in the closet. I feel like you can see their dynamic changing, like slowly changing from like friends to being like, all right, now I can admit that I like you, so like this is how I really want to be with you. And they're just like walking the line, and it's just so like the realism is just crazy.
Yeah, I think that is very true. That's probably the most refreshing thing about that movie is that like it breaks boundaries in that way, where it's like, because it's not that exciting. Like so many movies nowadays are like, and this guy did something fucked up to this guy, and so now this guy is gonna do crazy shit to get him back, you know? Mm-hmm. But here it's just humans like existing in like almost like a reality show.
No, literally.
You know?
It's just like, this is the story.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever, is it like, whose fault? No, this is just the story.
Yeah.
Like, this is just what it is. And don't even get me started on the dad's speech to him.
Oh yeah, that is very good. That dad is a great actor. Yeah. The way that he did that scene was amazing.
Yeah. And that speech just like changed the way I live life.
Yeah.
And that's why it's in my Instagram bio. Follow me on Instagram now. but literally, like, that's how I try to like process my emotions now. It's like when there's pain, I'm just like, all right, like this is what it is. I just want to feel it, like let it pass through me and know that like I'll come out with a lesson. And like that's how that speech is like pretty much what got me through my breakup.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, this pain right now is so like beautiful.
Yeah.
That I get to experience this. And like I experienced love and now I'm experiencing heartbreak, and like I'm gonna learn lessons from this that like can't even comprehend what they are.
Yeah.
But like it's happening to me right now. And it's just like such a cool thing because like all the emotions we can feel are like, they all have some form of like enjoyment.
Yeah, like everything is not all the way bad or all the way good ever.
Yeah.
You know? But sometimes it does seem all bad.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know it's gonna change again.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, where like what stuck with me in that speech, I feel like, is when he's like, look, man. Because I think it's also like
I don't think he said that. No.
You don't remember? He's like, listen, Brody. He's like, my dog. That was real. No, but he's like, dude, this whatever relationship you guys had was something that's not normal. It's not normal. Like, you don't always meet somebody who just fucking gets you and you get them and you guys are on the same page and you love each other. Like, it just doesn't always happen. It's pretty fucking rare. So like, just be grateful that you found somebody and you guys got on the same page like that. You know, that's fucking cool. And I feel that way a lot, especially because, you know, in high school, I was a lover boy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and looking back on it, I'm like, but I was so lucky to, like, get to know these girls even. And I'm so grateful to, like, have an experience with them where I was like, yeah, like, we both feel the same right now. That's fucking cool.
Yeah. And, like, they got to know you.
Yeah.
Like, it is just, like, cool.
For real. It's something to be said about just the relationship happening and, like, two energies being colliding is a very amazing thing.
Yeah.
But, I was going to say something I forgot. Damn.
It's just so good.
Yeah, but then the Army Hammer thing really threw me for a loop because I didn't know about this. Maggie just told me.
Well, I'm glad you didn't know about it when you watched it, because now when I watch it, there's kind of just like, oh.
There's an underlying like.
Yeah. But I try to just keep it separate.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's weird.
Yeah, it's interesting. And
if
then
you watch House of Hammer, you'd like it.
Yeah, I want to watch that, and also I want to watch Bones and All now.
Yeah, that movie is disgusting.
Yeah, I've heard it's like really gross.
It is tough. It's tough. After I
That
finished
movie is
it,
disgusting.
no, after we finished it, me and my friends were like, "That was fucking awful.
Really?
That was a horrible 2 hours."
Really?
Yeah.
Like it's just all bad the whole time.
Yeah. Because
Wow.
the storyline is what it is. It never gets.
Yeah, like that's the whole
It's
fucking
about
thing.
cannibals. Like it never gets easy.
Yeah.
It's always on your mind. Like, wait, but these people eat people. Like, it's gross.
Yeah, that is crazy.
But yeah, it's just the same director, Luca, and obviously Timothy. And I feel like it's about Armie Hammer, kind of.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Who knows?
Because Timothy and Armie Hammer were literally inseparable best friends after this.
Oh,
like,
really?
I felt like they were like low-key in love with each other.
Oh.
But he was like married at the time and like they weren't gay. But I feel like being in this movie together, like I feel like they low-key were like in love. Maybe like, you know, it's a spectrum. Maybe like this was just a weird hit where like they experienced this thing together and it was like, wow, I don't like guys, but like I think I'm in love with you. I feel like they were like that.
Yeah. That's
Because and also
crazy.
the way that Luca like bonded them is first they were just hanging out in Crema where it was filmed for like the whole time.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So they were living that life. Like they were like riding bikes together and like exploring. And then like Luca at their first rehearsal, he brought them to like that spot in the grass where they kissed. And he was like, all right, like we're going to practice like you guys' like this scene. And then they open up the scene and it was like Elio and Oliver make out in the grass. And they were like, they were like, any lines? Or like, they were like, no. And then they started making out and then like they look up after like 5 minutes and Luke is gone. Like he just left them there. So I feel like they liked each other. Bro.
Yeah. I kind of think you can feel that, and that was really smart of that director to do that.
Yeah.
Because he's like, this has to be authentic. The whole movie is very authentic. Like, just the way that it portrays humans, human emotion. Like, it has to have some sort of real feeling to everyone on screen, or else it's not going to feel the same way to the people viewing it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think all art is like that to an extent. Like, if you're faking it, like, people know. People know. You can't fake it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole thing about art. It's like, it's got to be genuine. So, but
wow,
yeah.
these have been the best 2 topics I could possibly want to talk about.
Yeah, for real.
This is a dream come true of a podcast.
Yeah, I really liked that movie. Honestly, it was a good movie. Very feely.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. Well, should we wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm down.
All right. Well, thanks you guys for tuning in to the Sunday Night Nut Pod. This has been a good one. This was a pretty deep one, man.
Yeah.
Just with Call Me By Your Name being about love and heartbreak. And I do feel like both of us are really coming out of the heartbreak, you know? Finally, after a dark, long months.
It was so fun, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was. I do feel that, bro. I was grateful even in the hardest of times. Like, at least I'm feeling, you know?
Like some people haven't been in love and like find someone where they're like so on the same page with them.
Yeah.
So it's like that was just cool, and mourning it was like part of that.
Yeah. Me and Hannah were together for so long that I think both of us probably numbed ourselves to an extent of being like, okay, this is my person. Like, I'm going to make it work. And so I think both of us probably took our own feelings out of account numerous times. Not the whole time. Like, there were obviously times where it's like, yes, I'm in love with you. Like, still, after all this time.
But it was just like a decision.
Yes.
Where it was like, we're gonna be together.
We said we would.
So that's what we're doing.
And so then you kind of like numb your own feelings to it.
Yeah.
And then when we broke up, it was not numbing at all. And so I think that's why it was so scary. Because, like,
Yeah.
dude, for me, I just hadn't cried in years. I couldn't remember the last time I cried. And then I'm just waking up at, like, 7 a.m. and, like, bawling my eyes out for weeks,
Yeah,
you know?
crazy.
Yeah, it was like, holy shit. And so I was fucking grateful for that. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm still human. Like, I cry when shit hurts me.
Yeah.
Because I've been so numb to all my feelings and been like, no, it's fine, bro. Like, we're strong, you know?
Yeah.
And then there was just something about it where it's like, dude, you just lost the person that you were closest to for years and years and years. Like, this
Crazy.
fucking stings.
Yeah.
And you are allowed to cry about it.
Yeah.
You know? And it was very teaching for me.
Yeah.
So, I am grateful for that.
That's great.
Yeah.
That kind of happened to me too, like about a month ago. Cause like the whole time everyone was like, "Wow, you're like doing really good. Like, why are you like so okay with everything?"
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. Like, I was just like trying to have like a realistic mindset about everything. But then like about a month ago, I swear I had like an exorcism. Like one night, I could not stop crying. I literally couldn't stop. Like, I was trying to stop. I couldn't even go to bed because I was crying. Because I was so sad all of a sudden. And I was like, what's happening? I thought I was, like, in a good place. And then, like, after that, like, everything got... Like, it was like I crossed the hurdle.
Yeah.
It was, like, the last step, kind of.
For real. I feel that. Dude, I remember I was at Jimmy John's. And, like, I had to open that day. But I was crying the whole time. And I worked... When I would open, I go there at 7, and no one else gets there till 10. And I was crying the whole time. I'm always just like slicing tomatoes,
so
like
sad.
crying. And I'm like, bro, like, this is annoying. You know, like, I'm like, dude, like, get over it. And then I'm like, okay, but when people come, like, 3 people show up at 10, you know? And then I'm like, what's up, dude? Like, what'd you do last night? And then you start talking about other shit, and it just naturally distracts you.
Out, yeah.
But it did not. Like, I just kept crying, bro.
While they were there.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Yeah, and like I was like
Aw.
making sandwiches, like crying. And I was like, bruh, this is crazy. Like, I'm not even...
Aw.
But yeah, it's and I do think that part of it was a lot of my childhood. I don't know. I think it's an Asian thing too. Mom was like... racist. But mom was like, dude, like, you're a dude. Like, don't cry.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like that was her. When I was young, bro, when I was pretty young, she was like, you're a guy. Like, you don't cry. Girls cry. You don't.
What the... I didn't know that even was said.
Oh, yeah. It was a thing. And it has been on my mind for a long time. And so then... From then on, I kind of thought of physical pain as like just something that simply should be out of your head. And so that's why I think that's a huge part of why I have such a high pain tolerance. Like, I broke my femur bone and just kept playing. The femur bone is the hardest bone in the body. Like, it's hard to break, and when it breaks, it hurts. But I was like, and dude, I like snapped my finger in half, never cried. My shoulder popped out for 3 years of my life.
Yeah.
And I never cried about it. I never was like, this sucks. Like, I just want to cry, you know? And so I think that it actually was like a lot of built up trauma.
Being released.
Mm-hmm. And it was all released into this one thing, but it wasn't all about this thing. These were like tears built up for years and years.
And it was like, wait, this feels good. This is what I've been needing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
And I just feel like I've always been like, dude, I'm not an emotionally available guy. I've thought of myself like that because that was like how I was observing myself, you know, is I'm like, I don't know, like, I don't feel it like y'all feel it. Like, when y'all are watching movies, I don't get it when you guys are crying. And now I like watch a scene that hits home for me, and I'm like, I feel it in my eyes, and I'm like, go ahead, you know. Like, I'm like, dude, it's cool, like, it's good.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that you can cry.
Yeah, because dude, it's not just that I can cry; it's that I can like actually tap into my emotions now and be like, that makes me feel like this.
Yeah,
you know. And I think for a long time I was like, No, I'm completely unfazed by everything. Like, anything could happen right now, and I'll still be smiling, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty deep.
Well, that's great. Growth.
Yeah, growth. But, all right, now we should call it for real.
Yeah.
We're kind of going on.
Well, thanks, guys, so much for listening to our discussion today.
Yeah, it was a hard-hitting one, so I hope you guys enjoyed it.
We're happy to be back.
We are happy to be back, for real. Back to the grind.
Yeah.
Now it's time to get this bread.
Yeah.
My God.
We're broke. Okay.
Super broke. If you guys want to, like...
Venmo. No.
Yeah, or GoFundMe, Sunday Night Nut Pod, like, we'll set that up for you guys.
All right. Peace out.
Peace out.
Yeah.
We are brother and sister.